And now we are live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the new look. First GenXers presents The Classroom featuring Miss O'Malley. Uh,
Up.
and we are here to talk some football. The NFL has opened up again officially. Um, I'm a fan of football. I am a fan of the NFL. So O'Malley is just a fan of football, and you know what? That's okay. We are here
And a
to
fan of NCAA football.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just football in general.
hey,
Not the soccer kind of football, but like American football.
yeah. Well, I'll
But
say this. Let me open it up since we did mention the college game. Let me open it up with a shout out to Cal, who got a big win over Auburn on Saturday. Like you very rarely ever see teams like Cal beat teams from the SEC, but hey, and I'm not saying Auburn is a top ranked team because they're not, but just beating a team from the SEC is something of an accomplishment for a team like Cal. So, and especially the way they did, they pretty much shut them out until almost the fourth quarter before Auburn made a little pushback, and then Cal ended up getting two big turnovers, like a pick and a fumble, that won the game for them. So, go blue, or not? The go blue is Michigan. Sorry, go Cal. Uh,
yeah,
and
they lost too.
yeah,
Michigan lost to Texas.
yeah, everybody saw that coming. I was just hoping that it wasn't gonna happen that way. Like I was hoping it was at least gonna make it. But I watched the first half and I was just like, yeah, I can't watch this. I can't watch this anymore. Like I'm all for supporting your team through to the end, but damn, Michigan, like that offense never got going. And if it doesn't get going
No.
this
I,
season, they can expect not to make the playoff. Like I can definitely agree with that.
yeah, and I think there's too much comfortability now. There's so much in the back of the people's heads now that will with the 12 team playoff, these teams can lose a game
Yep.
and still possibly make it. But not a game that's important. And this was an important game. This wasn't a softball game. This wasn't any of that. And so if it comes down to it in the end, I don't see Michigan going to the playoffs now. I don't know if I see them fully more morale wise even coming back from this. Let's
Right.
see how much of a hole they dig from themselves. Like Colorado is another one. That
Dion.
was embarrassing.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing. And Dion, you can blame your O line all you want, but what the fuck is up with your defense?
Hmm.
Man, you were a defensive player.
There's no
What
way.
is up with your
Yeah.
defense?
Your defense should not be. Yeah. All right.
Mm-mm.
So that brings us around.
Garbage.
That brings us around to the big boys. And last Thursday night, as we start open the season with a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game, and unfortunately for the Baltimore Ravens, it was different day, same song. The Ravens put up a hell of a game. Only down there, I believe it looks like they were down 13-10 at halftime. They ended up losing 27-20 to Mahomes, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelsey, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Uh, it's
Oh,
I hate to
I
say
mean,
this. Go ahead. No, no, I'll let you go first. What's up?
I really wanted to see Baltimore do well. I really did. I wanted this to be a lot different, but it was really just a lot of the same shit, different season.
Yeah. Yep. And don't get me wrong. I think Lamar Jackson, like he was the team's leading rusher with 122 yards on the ground, on top of 270 in the air.
But your quarterback shouldn't be your leading rusher.
Not when you
I'm
have
sorry.
fucking
Even
Derrick
if you
Henry.
have right, and I get it. I get it. He's an athletic quarterback, and I love that about him. But I mean, I'll say the same thing about Jaden Daniels, right? Because that was his touchdown today. Was a rushing touchdown.
Yep.
Your quarterback should not have the most rushing yards on your team,
Yes.
especially not when you have some of the key pieces that you have. There is no reason for that, especially because your quarterback can also throw the ball.
Yep.
So that don't make no sense to me.
None.
It really doesn't.
It doesn't. And I will say this on the Kansas City side, it's not inevitable because the bottom line is like I forget who it was said on ESPN. At some point, the balls have to start bouncing against you. And every ball can't bounce your way. So it's why there's never been a three-peat, or not never been, but there hasn't been a three-peat since like Green Bay in like the '60s or something like that, because it's just too damn hard. But
Right.
after Thursday night, that Kansas City team looks like a team that might be ready to do something that hasn't been done since the '60s. They look damn good.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
We'll see. But here's the other thing, though, is that the further they get into the season, is that pressure going to get to them,
Uh,
right? Sometimes when you are that team that lost too many in the beginning of the season and
yeah.
people are counting you out, right? Like it's a different kind of pressure. You
Right.
have something to prove. Now it's more it gets different because then if you get comfortable too quickly in the season, at some point you're going to get complacent.
Exactly. 100%.
And also talk to me when the weather starts.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I'll say this: Las Vegas may not be a threat to anybody else, but Antonio Pierce did lead them to a victory over the Chiefs late in the season last year.
that was a
So
fluke.
I don't know. Like the Raiders have been a thorn in their side, where like they haven't swept them every season. Like
Okay, but that's because that's partially because, and it's the same way with the Raiders in Denver. It
right,
doesn't really matter what those teams are doing that year.
right,
We love to fuck shit up for each other. Well,
right.
not we anymore, but I mean that's
It's like
still
division
with us.
opponents. Like yeah,
Yeah,
just division
it it
opponents. Yeah,
it doesn't matter what the teams are doing. When one is doing well, the other one, it's kind of that it doesn't matter how terrible we're doing. That's the only game I care about winning, right?
right.
Like when the Raiders and the Niners play. I don't care what the rest we do of the season. You better win that fucking game.
Fair enough. And yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like, but I don't know. Like, every part of my gut says they're not gonna do it. Something's gonna happen. They'll definitely make the playoffs. Trust me, that team is too damn good not to make the
Oh,
playoffs
yeah.
and not to be one of like the top two or three seeds. So
Yeah.
that part I'm not like debating. I'm saying I think the ball's
But
not gonna
someone's
bounce.
going to knock them down a peg or two.
Right.
For sure. I definitely see that. I don't necessarily see a three-peat happening because I do think that, especially if they're winning consistently early on, I
Yeah.
think they're gonna start getting complacent. They're gonna do something stupid. They're gonna end up giving up home field advantage. Although last year they'd say, "Well, this is the first time we did go in there and we didn't have home field advantage." And look at us. Okay, well,
We got it
let's
done anyway.
see,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So there is a lot of season to play, and that's going off of the assumption that their key players stay healthy.
Yeah. Chris Jones, Pacheco, Kelsey, specifically Mahomes, and that young kid Xavier Worthy, who has me regretting not starting him in my fantasy league. But again, I don't think he's going to keep that up. I will make that very clear. I think he had a great game. I don't think he's going to be putting up 19, 20 points a game. And if he does, I'm going to look like a fool because he's probably going to spend most of his season on the bench for me because I've got a pretty good roster ahead of him. So that brings us around to what is it? To Friday night, in which a game that I guess green wasn't supposed to be worn, but somehow the NFL said, "Kid and fuck you, Brazil." Like we're not we don't care. Like we're going to wear green anyway. 'Cause I think Philly wore green. But something about like there was something about like I remember hearing reports about like how they weren't supposed to wear red in the or not red but green in Brazil or something like that, or wherever they were. So like I don't know. I can confirm nor deny what I heard about. So, but anyway, they did wear green. Both teams had green lining on their things, and I believe the Eagles wore the green home color home jerseys. So, but we had Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts, along with Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs, get themselves into a shootout. Like that game, like I was watching the game and I saw 6-0 in the first quarter. I was like, wow, the defenses are really doing their thing. And then all of a sudden I saw 19-17 at halftime. All right, Eagles made a comeback, like they doing good. Then all of a sudden I turned it on in the third quarter and it was like 30 something to 20 something or like, 20 something to 17
Yeah.
and it was something that was 30 something to 20. I was like, whoa, wait, and I'm checking my fantasy scores and all of a sudden it's like ding, 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 AJ Brown scored, Saquon Barkley scored, Jalen Hurts scored. What in the holy bejesus? It was almost as if both teams just said, "Hey, defense, just go out there and stand there."
Hold my beer and hold my beer and watch this.
Exactly. Like I don't know what happened, but at the end of the day, the Eagles scraped themselves out a win over the Green Bay Packers, which was something they couldn't do to Tampa Bay last year in the playoffs as they nosedived. I think this is a good start to the season, but last season they started 10-1,
For
so
Philly, for Philly, but unfortunately on Green Bay's side, Love got hurt,
yeah.
and so they're yet to see what the full scope of his injury was
Mm.
or is. They're not 100% sure, but there's people talking about, oh, are they gonna call up Ryan Tannehill, or are they gonna call up so and so, and it's like, oh my, they're gonna start bringing up every retired. Tom Brady will be next on the list at this rate. Like,
I say this: if you don't have a good enough backup quarterback to win with Josh Jacobs as your running back, those amazing wide receivers and tight end, and that offensive line, then why? Then really that's what's his name's fault for only giving himself one quarterback to work with. I love Jordan Love, but you should have had somebody behind him. If you don't, then y'all gonna have a rough start to the season. And recovering, I don't know.
yeah, it's they said originally they thought it was a high ankle sprain, but now they're thinking somebody said it may have been his MCL.
Oh,
So, yeah,
if it's the MCL, he's done for the season, damn near.
yeah, I don't know,
He ain't no
but
Ricky
that really,
Persol. No.
especially, oh, that it. I mean, especially after how well they did towards the end of the season last year, and in the way that they were really putting a cohesive team together. I really hate to see that happen, like first game.
They pushed that Niners team that went to the Super Bowl. Like they definitely pushed them very easily. With a field goal here and a field goal there could have been Detroit and who was it that they played? Detroit and Green Bay in that conference championship game. Because those Packers pushed the Niners to the limit. So they still got a good defense. Like I said, all the quarterbacks got to do is like the Niners did with Jimmy G. Just don't fuck up. Like just don't fuck up. Just go out there and do your job. Complete passes, make the right reads and calls. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. You ain't got to do nothing spectacular. Let the talent around you do its thing, and the Packers should win a couple of games. So
Yeah. It looks like it was an MCL sprain. I just pulled it up, so they're expecting him to be out maybe 3-4 weeks. But that's 3-4 weeks of you can't afford to win or lose 3-4 games. So
and as we're going to talk about after the break, like Caleb Williams won. So the Bears look like, and they did it in convincing fashion.
no. Hold on. The Bears won. Okay, and I'm a Caleb Williams fan because hello, fight on, go USC.
Yeah.
The Bears won. Caleb Williams did not win. Caleb Williams played very poorly, just like Jaden Daniels played very poorly. So you have the two top rookie quarterbacks in the entire NFL right now, and both played like complete shit.
Okay. I'm going to say this. I agree with you 100% that they both played like shit. I agree with you that the Bears won. I was just playing that to Josh, saying that to Josh with you with about the Caleb Williams. I think that the Bears showed themselves to be a threat by the fact that they still won despite Caleb Williams struggling in his first. You know,
Absolutely.
I think the Lions and the Packers have somebody to look out
But I actually think that that also will bode for them well going into next week's game,
for. Yeah.
because I think that in some ways takes a little bit of pressure off of him. That even though I didn't play my best today, you know what, my team rallied, and we still brought home that win.
That defense is wow.
So yeah, so and that's what a new quarterback needs. A new quarterback needs even more than an offensive line or uh, some key offensive pieces. They need a top-notch defense that's going to get out there and win the game for them. Keep them, you know, yeah. So I think next week we'll probably see him play better. Remember, he played what, half, if that, of a preseason game, and I'm not trying to make excuses for him because there is no excuse.
Yeah.
But
Well, no, there doesn't need to
yeah,
be an excuse. It's the kid's first game in the NFL. There shouldn't need to be an excuse. Like you expect him to struggle. If you don't, then you don't understand the progression of
even just
people who
the
play sports.
excitement and jitters and like just being so, holy shit, look where I'm at. That, like, it's crazy different.
It
So
is.
I again, I think the fact that defense really pulled through, that team really kind of picked up the slack and still won the game, regardless of his performance, will give him some more confidence going into next weekend.
And here's the thing about it. I've heard it said multiple times by Jeff Saturday, Mike Golick, a lot of people. You can only learn to play the game by playing the game. And when it comes to the NFL, you can only learn the speed of the game by playing the game. Practice can't
Yeah.
simulate that. You know what I'm saying? Preseason really can't simulate that. You know, once you step out there on the field week one and you have that defense bearing down on you, it's a completely different thing. And it's an adjustment. Like I saw a
Yep.
play. They played the Titans. I saw a play where Caleb tried to roll out and couldn't get away from the D lineman because they were just too quick. Sorry, bro. Like
Yep.
these ain't
Yep.
University of Tennessee linemen. These are grown men who are out there doing this professionally. So, but we'll get back to him a little bit later on. Um, but Philly, I think Philly needed this a lot more than the Packers did until Jordan Love went out. Now it would have been much better for
Yeah.
the Packers had they at least won this game because at least they'd have had the one win to roll into to try to
Yeah.
roll into next week. But um, but Philly needed it for a different reason. The way they finished last season, they need to perform well. They needed to perform well against a playoff team specifically that Green Bay was last year. So I think that this game sets Philly up for again a good start to the season. But as we've all seen, not to beat a dead
Mhm.
horse, we've seen Philly start 10-1 and collapse after that. So let's just maybe they'll start maybe they'll start like
But
one and five.
this is also a very different Philly team than
Yeah.
what we saw last year, though.
Saquon
So
Barkley. Yeah.
it's, yeah, oh yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm happy to see him be somewhere now. He came out and said that, like, the last year was the worst that his headspace has ever been since he's been in the NFL, and
Yeah.
so I'm glad to see him somewhere new, a fresh start, and and to see those pieces together.
Yeah.
That they have the opportunity to be unstoppable
Yeah.
if they keep it together.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'll
we'll
say
see.
this. They remind me and very much, and I'll say it like this one. Sorry, I said that twice, but there was a guy on NFL Network who said that he expected Saquon Barkley to have a Christian McCaffrey like impact upon the Philly offense. And at first I was like, because C-Mac is C-Mac. He's kind of one on one. But having watched the game, he had a Christian McCaffrey like impact on that Philly offense. He
There,
gave
there was a reason why he was the number 2 draft pick in 2018,
right,
folks. It,
yeah,
it maybe we didn't get the opportunity to see that the last few years there where he was, but there's a reason why he was the number 2 draft pick.
yeah, and yeah, like I said, he's all that in a bag of chips to use a '90s phrase. But I'll say, but Saquon, and then on the flip side of it, Josh Jacobs did not have a bad game. I want to say he went for like 80 something yards and a touchdown. Like he did pretty decent for his day for being the Bill horseback. Now they're going to need him to continue to perform like that in the coming weeks if they're planning on winning at least 1 or 2 games while Jordan Love is out, and maybe hopefully getting the 3-2. I will be truly overjoyed for them and surprised if they go like 4-1 before Jordan Love comes back. But I'm thinking maybe 2-2 at best. 2-2 or 3-1 at best. But we'll see. We'll see. So that's going to go on ahead and take us into our first commercial block, our first and only commercial block. When we come back, we'll talk some early and late games, some key games from today, and then we'll close out talking about Monday Night Football and the 49ers and Jets. Y'all have a great time watching these. I'm Double K. That's OMalley. This is the Classroom. First GenXers presents. Oh, the little websites that you see down here, 2KK2network.com, will launch next week, and firstgenxers.com is already up, so go check them out and check us out.
Peace. You got to keep it. Keep it, you got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it, you got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I'm being real with this. Please don't judge me, I'ma stay on my shit. I'ma keep a grind mode button, push it, make it do something. No balls for me, cause I'm a loose cannon. I get to choose, camera, switch it up, look up a new banner. Keep smoking on that bama.
We back at it. Yup, we still doing it. Poetic beat. First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on. We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the same. Dropping these beats won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the first GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the Switch or the Xbox and get up in my zone, I'm clowning. Let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's babe business. I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this. And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's the first GenXers. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the first GenXers production. Get your PlayStations out. Get your Xbox out. Get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back.
say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the definition of beauty is distorted. Yeah, come on. Searching for yourself, so insecure about the way you look, so you go to Miami. You can't find the love within yourself.
We have the personnel to man up and get after Patrick Mahomes. We have the personnel to do that. It's not. They avoided playing each other in the first round. It looked like they were going to be playing each other in that first play-in matchup. He could do that. You know what I'm saying? I doubt he will, but he could. You know,
Why are you always yelling, sir?
oh, no shit. No shit. What's up? We're back, y'all. Yeah. Stephen A. I love your brother, but she's completely right. You yell way too much.
Yeah, why are you always yelling? And why are you yelling at me at 6 o'clock in the morning, sir? Okay? I mean, you can get your point across without having an aneurysm at the same time.
No disagreement here. None whatsoever.
And no
Just hilarious.
disrespect either.
Yeah.
I'm actually concerned for your stress and your health. Like, I mean, I feel like you have high blood pressure.
Don't blow a gasket, brother. Well, say. All right, y'all. So we're going to talk some Sunday games, some key Sunday games. Some victories that surprised me, I'll start with. Steelers over Falcons.
Not the Chargers. That wasn't surprising.
The Steelers over the Chargers surprised me. Well, I'll say the Patriots beating the Bengals surprised me. Let's see. And none of the rest surprised me. Like Cowboys beating Browns doesn't surprise me. Bucks beating the Commanders doesn't surprise me. Seahawks beating Broncos doesn't surprise me. Vikings stomping the Giants into dust doesn't surprise me. 28-6 was the final score on that one. Daniel Jones, do better. You're making way too much money. Do better. Let's see. Panthers stomping the Saints 47-10. But one where I'll focus at is this. The afternoon game. Where the new $60 million fucking man leads his team to a 33-17 win over the Browns. Basically, statistically, the best defense in the league last year. So, what are your thoughts on the game, and then what are your thoughts on Dak getting paid?
They don't expect to keep him next year. I mean, I'm thinking this is the last ditch effort, and yes, they're throwing all the money in the world at him. I'm more interested to see what the details of that contract actually are.
Yeah.
Because yes, at face value, they did just pay him, but I still think that they're going to go after Shedeur Sanders in the draft. Financially, it makes more sense. So yeah, we can pay you right now. We can act like we're going to pay you, and even this contract is going to help you wherever we send you next.
Right.
But I honestly don't expect Dak to be with the Cowboys next year.
Hot take. Hot take. 4-year extension, move him
I
on to
said it
someplace
here.
else.
Just
Yep.
remember, I said it here.
So I'll say it like this: congratulations to the Cowboys on winning the game against the Browns. That was a surprise one for me because I actually thought the Browns were gonna prove why Dak doesn't deserve it. Dak, let me say it like this: does Dak deserve his money? That's a two-pronged question. The market dictates that Dak deserves his money, okay? Because the market unfortunately dictates that he's worth that much. But just do me a favor, go on Google and compare the resumes of Brock Purdy, who's been in the league for 3 years, and Dak Prescott in the postseason. And you will see exactly why I'm saying, like, does he really deserve, like,
Nope.
is 12-5 during the regular season in a first or
Nope.
second round out worth $60 million a year?
Nope.
When you could do that with a rookie quarterback. You probably could do that with
Yep.
Trey Lance if you let him play long enough.
Right.
Like,
And this is, and I'm actually going to edit what I just said. He won't be there. He may be there next season. He will not be there the following season.
okay.
I will
fair
give
enough.
that, because then they can groom whoever they're bringing in to replace him and send him away.
Right.
But no, because okay, Mr. December, go home. Like, you don't get that kind of money to me if you don't have the resume to back it up.
Thank you.
Period.
Thank you.
I don't care what the market dictates right now. Okay, you've won what, 1 second round playoff game? I think.
No, he's won none. Because if
No,
he won
none.
a second
I'm
round,
sorry.
that means he would have went to the
One-
conference championship.
He's
Yeah,
won one first round,
Yeah.
I believe.
like I believe he's won.
Because-
Won 2 wild cards because he's 2-5 in the postseason in
Okay.
his career. So he's won 2 wild card games.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten past. No, Maybe if you had gotten all the way, but just not quite there. But the fact that, like, why even bother going to the playoffs? Because you know you're going to lose.
Yep.
Like, I mean, and even if you happen to win a wild card game, you're not going to. No, until you actually get to maybe that last playoff game. No.
Yep.
That conference championship? No. How many conference championships you have? How many division championships?
Not even
you have?
appearances.
How many? Okay, so then tell me again how he deserves that money, and add on to that, how old are you?
Because and here's why. Here's where I come from the aspect of there's two prongs to this. Where I say one says he does, one says he doesn't. The man has been a top 10 quarterback in the league pretty much his entire career. Okay, skill-wise.
According to who?
The stats. It sucks. I hate the Cowboys. The stats back it up. That his numbers have been top 5, top 10 every year his entire career.
Don't mean shit to me if you can't make it through the playoffs.
And I understand that. And that's where
Period.
I'm with you. That's where I'm with you. Like I'm like it's and yes,
Because
I will
what
say
you're saying is on paper.
Right.
On paper,
On
he's been a
paper.
top 10 quarterback.
right.
In
And
real life, no.
well, I would
he's-
say
he's-
when it turns
He's a top 25 quarterback.
it's you know who he is right now? I'm going to tell you right now who Dak Prescott is modern day. He's Peyton Manning. He's Peyton Manning before he broke the seal and won a Super Bowl. Everybody consistently said Peyton Manning was a regular season quarterback. He couldn't get it done, even though now that we look back, it wasn't Peyton's fault. He kept running into Tom Brady in that New England team a lot of the time. There was probably a couple of years that Peyton could have had 3, 4, 5 Super Bowls,
Yeah.
but he ran into New England. So part of it is not his fault.
We're
But for a
comparing
good,
apples and oranges.
well, no, I'm not saying skill wise.
on
I'm just
that
saying like Dak has the same narrative around him right now. That he's going to give you 4,000 yards a season. He's going to give you 30, 40 touchdowns. He's probably going to give you about 20 picks. But as soon as that playoffs comes around, he's going to turn into a scrub, and he's not going to be able to lead you to shit. Because I will give it to this. Whenever somebody tells me that 49ers game 2 years ago in Dallas was not on Dak, bullshit. They held one of the most prolific offenses in years to, I believe, 19 points and Dak couldn't score 3 touchdowns. Dak couldn't lead the offense to scoring 3 touchdowns to win that game at home. Like, that right there was all on you, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, that Niners defense is tough, but your defense did their job. The Niners offense was averaging, I believe, 28 a game during that season, and they held them to 19. So your defense did the job.
Grit.
Yeah.
He lacks the mental grit to bring them all the way through. And I'm sorry for someone like Jerry Jones who makes very financially sound decisions most other areas. This has never made any sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, what does Dak have over you, Jerry? Because any other quarterback who hadn't brought you to the promised land after being there for this long and getting you that close, like, I mean, Dallas, your fans, you really must like that sex without a happy ending, because that's all you get with your fucking quarterback.
For back-to-back quarterbacks, because Tony Romo was the same way. That's why the team has not seen a conference championship in like almost 20 years and hasn't been to a Super Bowl in 30. Like,
but it's like Jerry Jones refuses to admit that he was wrong in either case. So I'm going to go down with this ship, and I'm going to no, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. Like, and he's not getting any younger. I'm sorry, he's not.
If you want one before you die.
He's on the back end of his career.
Definitely got a lot more. Got a lot more spins behind him than in front of him. 100%. Yeah. So Jerry, like, congratulations on the dub today, but guys. All right, so we'll end it there for the Sunday games, and we're gonna talk a little bit about tomorrow night's game before we wrap the show up, and that is Monday night. We get 49ers against the Jets. Want to know the most intriguing thing about this game? Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd is the most intriguing thing, because this is the second Monday night season opener that he's been on the opposite side of the field from Aaron Rodgers. And you want to know what happened last time he was on the opposite field from Aaron Rodgers? Yep.
Aaron Rodgers went out for the
for the entire
That's gonna be
season.
some PTSD.
It's the same dude, just in a different jersey. Look, I don't expect Aaron Rodgers a lot to ever.
I can't get away from him.
Like, I don't expect Aaron Rodgers to have happy feet other than the first play when Leonard Floyd comes off that edge and Aaron sees him break that tackle. Like I'm telling you right now, that is going to be, Aaron's going to be seeing ghosts. His feet's going to be dancing worse than Mumbles and Happy Feet. My boy's going to be dancing.
Be like Bobby Boucher.
He gonna be who that there. Once he gets past that first tackle where Floyd's coming off the edge, I think Aaron Rodgers will be fine. But that first time, it's gonna be bombs going off, like PTSD, the whole shebang. Because like that has got to be straight trippy that you play two different teams for season openers, but it's the same guy coming off the edge.
Like, how does that not feel a little personal at this point?
Like Leonard Floyd looked at the schedule.
How did you fuck up in the universe? What did you do to the universe to, like...
Oh, man. I picture Leonard Floyd sitting there deciding which contract he gonna sign, like, Oh, y'all play Aaron Rodgers first week of the season? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm signing in San Francisco. Oh, man. But needless to say, this should be a good, very, very good matchup as far as the teams go. Robert Saleh knows Kyle Shanahan's offense. He coached against it in practice for a full 2 years. So he knows that offense.
Everyone knows Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Most of the league uses it. Anyway, but so that should be an intriguing thing. That Niners defense with Floyd and Collins and Hargrave and Bosa and Warner and Greenlaw being back and Devondre Campbell that they picked up from Green Bay, and The cornerbacks performing
And
well.
they finally, and also shout out to the 49ers for finally paying Mr. Williams. Okay, you did the right thing.
Yep, they restructured him and Brandon
Did the right
Ayuk,
thing. Yep.
and got Brandon
Yep.
Ayuk in there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
shout out to Ricky Pearsall, though, dude. I didn't expect you to be back at practice or be trying to play at least through week 4. I thought you was going on the PUP list for sure. But
Well, and that's what everybody thought. And this is where, like, somebody was watching out for him because it missed every vital piece of anything
yep,
in his body and pretty much went clear through. So,
Lucky.
I mean, that man is a lucky, lucky, lucky man.
my dude.
And meanwhile, Michael Thomas hasn't played a game since he stubbed his toe on the end table, right? You got Ricky Pearsall over here just got shot, and he's already back in the weight room, and Michael Thomas, oh, I stubbed my toe, and I can't play for 3 years. All right, okay, all right, I see
He
you.
said for 3 years. It's true though. Michael Thomas has been MIA for damn near 3 years. Oh man. But yeah,
You
100%.
got this rookie who just got shot, and he's like, "Hey, coach, I'm ready to come back. Put me in." You know.
Oh man, but he stubs his toe and he's out for the season.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you see, by the way, just on an off topic since we don't have any more topic list, shout out and best wishes to Angel Reese.
Yeah.
Season-ending
Yeah.
injury, like wow.
Wrist injury. Yeah. Yeah,
So
that sucks.
you were
But
having
she's
a hell of a
having quite
rookie
the season.
Yep. She was looking like Asia Wilson light.
Breaking records, triple
Yep.
doubles.
Like these new girls got it.
Yeah.
So
Really? And so that's really disappointing.
yeah. It just I do
Yeah.
know that unfortunately, like the one happy thing I am about is I'm okay with it.
These girls are making women's basketball.
And I hope the money that they put in their bank account reflects what they are doing.
These girls are.
Yo.
Yes, absolutely. Because they are bringing new viewers to women's basketball. They're making women's basketball fun to watch,
Yep.
and this is, I feel like, what women's basketball has been waiting for. This new young generation that is hungry, and they're out there playing like the dudes. Like, I mean, watching Caitlyn is almost like watching a female Steph Curry. So they make it fun to watch.
Yep. And that's where I'm at with it. Is like, and also congratulations to Caitlin Clark because Angel Reese was really the only one in the running with you for Rookie of the Year, and with you leading Indiana to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like I think it's
feel
pretty much a
bad, though,
lot.
because I imagine that is not how she wanted to get that. It's
She's a
not-
competitor.
She's very much a competitor, and those two love to compete against each other. So, shout out to her. Hope she heals quickly, comes back strong. I mean, quite a even with the injury, what a phenomenal rookie season she had.
Like not even golf clap. Give her a standing O. She deserves it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what she's gonna do next year. So, all right. So we're gonna close it up on that. I want to thank everybody that chimed in, everybody that watched us. You can catch a replay if you tuned in late of this show on Tuesday at 12:45 on the First GenXers Radio Network over on Live 365. Again, check out the websites down in the corner. One will be live next week. The other one is live right now. And be sure to stay tuned. At 8 o'clock after the late night game ends, we got MVT Deuce with the Saint coming on. So be sure to check that out. And then you'll see me again Monday night. OMalley will be back next Sunday. Well, wait a minute. Are we doing an episode next Sunday? Yeah, we are. So I will see you guys then. Any last words for him, OMalley?
Yeah, of course, because, now we've got the Kevin Hart and LeBron commercial all over the place, so it still stands even though it's NFL. Fuck LeBron.
Peace.